Hey fam, David Burris here of the David Burris Academy, and I wanted to take just a few moments, I only have a few moments, to share with you the impact that increased media has had on my life. And the reason why I only have just a few moments is because I am now running a business that has gone from good to great because of the good folks over at Increased Media. Just a few months ago, I was struggling trying to get a business off the ground, and I sat down with Dion Jackson. She gave me some instructions, some strategy, some counsel, some things I needed to do to position myself for success. And when I tell you further, faster, that is an understatement. So if you have a business, if you have a ministry, if you have a project that you are struggling to get off of the ground, or if you need strategy for what you have been given to do, I invite you to connect with Dion Jackson and the good folks over at Increased Media. They have the ability, they have the wisdom, they have the strategy, they have the connections to get you to your next level. I would not be where I am had I not partnered with them, and they partner with me to get me to where I'm going. So I am sold. I believe in what they have to offer, and I know that it will help you. If you're not plugged in, I invite you to get plugged in today. They got the sauce. They got the secret sauce. They have the goods, and I want you to have access to it. All right. Cheers to Dion. Cheers to Increased Media. Kudos to you guys for what you're doing for the community, for what you're doing to change the world, one person at a time. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
I should unmute. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. This is your girl, Sabrina Bree, not Brianna, and we are completely mixing it up. We are here doing an evening conversation, and I am so glad that you're with us. This conversation is one that has been eagerly anticipated, and I am inviting you all to not only listen, but to join the conversation. This is one of those where you can tag people, we can have live conversations, and just really begin to explore some of the dirty laundry that we haven't talked about in our community. As you all are liking, sharing, and inviting people to join the conversation, I'm going to invite a very special people to the conversation to help me anchor this. Would you all put your hands together for the radical one herself? I call her Grace. You guys know her as Dion, the radical midwife. Grace, happy Monday evening.
It's Monday. We've been quiet a long time. I'm so happy to be here. I am super excited about this conversation. I'm stoked about these cats that are joining us, and I am beyond elated that by the time this conversation itself ends, I have a feeling, as always, Grace, that somebody's life and the trajectory of their life is going to shift drastically.
Absolutely.
So I don't know about you. I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy. The people are tuning in.
Yes,
I know we have different threads going, but hey, Trey. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Trey.
There were some people that promised me that they would be on tonight. And so I'm so
Sure.
excited about them and their participation. And it's been so long since we did this. And I think it's indicative of the topic that we made the sacrifice to
Sure.
come out of, I'm not going to say retirement, but just set aside some time for working to have this conversation, because it's that important.
It's important. Yeah.
So before we do the rationale as to why this conversation, hey sister, why this conversation and why now, maybe we should go ahead and get our guest in here. I'm going to let you do the honors, because one of our guests makes my heart so happy, and I don't, I get overcome and I get to squealing and carrying on. And they ain't heard the T-Rex in a while. They might hear it, but I'm going to let you do it first, and then I'm going to squeal. You go.
That's hilarious. So y'all listen, if nobody knows anything else about me, we all are from this good old amazing little bitty place that they disqualified. Yay! All day long. And I have known this fella since probably my early teen years, and I have watched him become just this amazing ambassador in the community, just a phenomenal father. They say African-American men are not fathers. The devil and his nephews are liars. He contributes to so many things. I've watched him transition through life changes, life transformation, and I am not just impressed with his journey, I'm impressed with his heart. He's a great dude. And to top it all off, ladies, he's fun. This dude inspires folks everywhere. If you never wanted to go for a hike after you watch this cat, you just kind of want to go for a hike like randomly. So ladies and gentlemen, with no further here, look, we love to hike. Hey, sorry.
Hey, Reggie. Hey, Dee Dee.
Hi, Dee. Hi, Benita. With no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the platform none other than Garland Harris Jr.
Hey, you was going back. I was back here going, brothers and sisters taking action. BSTA.
BSTA, way back in the choir at Kennedy High School. Him and Charlie Brown terrorizing all of the girls because they was fine then. You hear me?
Wait. So listen, Trey said fine.
Fine.
Like he ain't just fine. He's fine.
Like ultra fine.
Yes.
The bar must be low.
Listen. So let me just get my dig in there. I said I wasn't going to T-Rex it, but I didn't, I'm a little younger than them. Praise the Lord, everybody. So I didn't get to go to school with them. But one of the things that endeared my heart to Garland is when I was in the roughest time of my life, he stepped up to be a brother to me. He was one of those that will inbox, sis, you good? Sis, you need anything? And one of the things that, I don't know if I've ever said this to you, some people will text you, but Garland was like, call me. I want to hear your voice. I want to know that you're okay. And so if I've never appreciated you for that, you are my brother. I will scratch a girl's eye out over you.
We still Richmond. We love Jesus.
Listen, she better have some good mental health on her. That's all I'm saying, because I'm coming for
a person's voice, because you got to know the context and make sure that they really are right.
Yes. And so a lot of times we don't take the time to do that, and you do that. And so I honor you for that today.
Thank you.
Very good. I just want to give a holler out to Sean. Hey, Sean Pryor. Listen, we all around that Laurel Park area, honey. Miss Barbara, Miss B, all the way in Texas, and my brother Reginald Mitchell. That's my brother, y'all.
Reg.
Yeah, he'll fight a tree trunk about y'all, and he'll drag me up a foreign hill for a very long time until I get really frustrated.
He don't care if your feet hurt?
No.
He don't care if your feet hurt?
No, with his ugly boots. But I love my brother. Nevertheless, I'm super excited. I'll hand it back to you. Hi, Deidre. Deidre Alexander. We go way back.
All right. Well, come on, real Richmond in the house. This is
real
Richmond
in the house. Bet.
As you all continue to come in and tap in, so we can shout you out, and so you can join this conversation. Hey, Roz. This conversation came about because a couple weeks ago, like so many of us, it's happened time and time again. Dion and I had an experience simultaneously, but we didn't know we were both having it. Signed into Facebook and saw rest in peace for somebody who I was absolutely convinced was gone too soon. And as I sat with that and I shared tears over that, Dion and I just happened to connect that day and talk. And we both had the same sentiment. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of people leaving here too soon, particularly men in the age group of 40 and 55, right? And so we begin to have the conversation. We have to do something, right? And I didn't know, like, do Black men not know how much you guys mean to us? Right? And so we started having the conversation about having the conversation. And so that's what anchored us here tonight. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So to kick off the conversation, I want to share with you all some statistics that literally rocked me. And once I give you these statistics, Garland, I'm going to turn it over to you because I would love to hear. First, we're going to definitely give you space to talk about your own journey and your own decision making, because Dion says everything is a decision. But I want to hear your thoughts about these stats, okay?
Okay.
So these statistics were pulled from 2021 to 2022. So this ain't talking about something that was in the 1970s. As of 2021, Black men in the United States suffer worse health than any other racial group in America. For example, as a group, Black men have the lowest life expectancy and the highest death rate. That is compared to other men and to Black women. Okay? Hold on, I'm gonna give y'all some more. Statistically speaking, Black men live 7 years less than men of other racial groups. They also have higher death rates than Black women for all leading causes of death. Black men have a higher incidence of a higher rate of death from oral cancer, and hold on to your seats, they have a much higher risk of developing HIV/AIDS in their lifetime. Other health statistics, and I'm going to hang my hat on this. 44% of Black men are considered overweight. 37.5% of Black men are considered to be obese. Black men suffer more preventable oral diseases that are treatable. Black men have a higher incidence of diabetes and prostate cancer. Black men have a high suicide rate. It is the leading cause of death in Black men ages 15 to 24 years old that don't die by homicide. Okay? Just with that, I'll stop there. I have some more stats, but Garland, what are your thoughts?
I think a lot of that is self-inflicted and it's due to a lot of ignorance. You know, we like to say things that run in our family. We don't run in our families. We don't run. We don't exercise as a family. Like, you know, when we consider, you know, everything in the Black community is kind of based around food.
It is.
How about basing it around earning that meal? And that's where I had to get my head to where, okay, yeah, I want to eat, but what I'm going to do to earn that meal, what I'm going to do earlier in the day, and then how am I going to eat once I actually sit down? Because it's just, we just base everything around food. You know, the Black community, oh, come over, let's eat. Come over, let's play cards and eat. It's never let's go take a walk, or, you know, when we in the shop, we in the barber shop, y'all in the beauty shop, we never sitting up talking about what is the conversation at as far as did we run today, getting your heart rate up. That's like the information that you guys are trying to do here. These are things that we should be sharing all the time, because those stats freak me out. Like, that's scary. But I have to say, having my girls, I love my girls more than I love myself. So being a father, I got a 23 and a 20 and a 15-year-old. So I want to see my grandkids, or at least watch them grow up. And then, it's just so many reasons that are bigger than you. It's totally selfish to become a parent or a husband or wife and let yourself go. Give your best you to that person. You should do it for that. If you don't care, give that person your best you. Whoa, what? You can't beat that. Getting married and just saying, "Oh, to heck with it. I got me a man now, or I got me a woman now.
Right.
I can relax." Nah, that's when you need to put your foot on the gas, and y'all need to. Okay, now you got a best friend that you can eat with and do this and that. You can exercise with too.
Listen, we can talk a lot about that because most of us get into relationships long-term was with the intent that we're going to do life together.
Listen.
Right?
Yeah.
And Garland, you mentioned something. A lot of it is communal in its culture. We eat for everything. You sad? Let's eat. You happy? Let's eat. You bored? Listen, because I'm a let's eat. Right?
And there's nothing wrong with that. But what are you doing before you go eat or after?
That's right.
Okay, I'm finna eat, but yeah, I just ran a couple miles today.
I earned this food, right? So I'm going to give you guys my last set of statistics, and then Dion, I want to hear from you, okay? So what I'm going to give you guys now, and I saw people saying that the stats made them sad too. Check these out, right? According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the following were the leading causes of death in Black men in 2019. Take out homicide, all right? Y'all ready for this? Heart disease, cancer, unintentional injuries, accidents, homicide, stroke, diabetes, chronic lower respiratory diseases. I didn't know what that was, so I looked it up. Chronic obstruction of pulmonary disease, COPD, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, and asthma. Kidney disease, sepsis, and rounding out the 10, hypertension, which is another word for high blood pressure. In 2019, these were the 10 leading causes of why men left their families too soon. Dion, what do you think about that?
Well, I want to do this really quick before I tackle the stats. I want to say, hey, Vasil. Hey, I'm Jayla. Hey, Coffee. Thank you for your contributions. And Coffee, I hear you with the systematic processes and all of that. But I want to talk about these stats. And I think if you've ever been in a position where you were a caregiver of any sort, be it a grandparent, be it your parent, for me, it was my child. It's number one, not something that I would wish on anyone. And what I know without a shadow of a doubt is that when we make, when we make these decisions, not to be mindful of what culture says. And I know that food is cultural, and I do understand that. However, to every man is given the measure of self-control. We all have responsibilities to become aware. And for us, and this is for me as a believer, men perish for lack of knowledge. You have knowledge of the system so that you can counter the system. I don't believe in culture. I believe in counterculture. So everything about how I think, how I process, how I operate, I am aware of a thing, but I'm not stuck in the blame of a thing, because I am responsible for me and me alone. And I'm also responsible for those that I love. Like I have my middle son, his father passed from diabetes complications. And so I'm always consistently on his head about his diet. I'm consistently on him about, okay, did you run this week? Have you exercised at all? I have a son that survived cancer. We have a full gym in my garage. Not only, I've always been cognizant, right? Now, sometimes maybe not as active as I should have been, but you deal with overcoming cancer. You deal with overcoming and dealing with mental illness or any addiction in your bloodline of any sort. It makes you conscious of how you live. I want to see my grandchildren It is important to me that I'm here to pray for them and to lay hands on them. It means something to me for me to be able to teach them what it looks like to be mindful of their health. And so as a single woman, as a 50-year-old single woman, I don't mean no harm, but I'm saved, sanctified, and filled and abstinent at the same time, right? I practice it. And so when I get married, I don't want to look in your medicine cabinet and find metformin. I don't want to look in your medicine cabinet and find high blood pressure pills, because we're going to have a problem. I need some retribution retroactively for this walk. And I'm dead serious.
Yeah. And that's something, that's an aspect of this conversation, because not only are we dealing with men leaving their communities too soon, and not just your family, but your community too soon, right? And we need you, but there's impacts that are far reaching, for those of us that are still single and dating. Hey girl, hey, I'm looking for a relationship. I don't want to sign up to be a caregiver. Now, if something happens along the way and God determines that that's a lot, that we have to deal with illness, that's one thing.
That's one thing.
But to go into it being a caregiver,
right.
Let me
ask you ladies a question. Okay, if a man said, if a man wanted to take you on a date, and the first date was a hiking date or something just a little, because he's checking you out. He want to make sure that you about that life too. Because if he's watching this, he's gonna be like, okay, she want a man in shape. I think I'm the man. So if he approaches you and asks you for something like that, how receptive would you guys be to something like that?
That's dope.
Yeah, because that's me on a date. Like I'm sweatpants. I'm like, let me see what let me see what you working with as far as, can you climb this hill? What we doing here?
So I think honestly, like Dion said, that's dope. She hikes with Reggie. I ain't never hiked with Reggie, right? I've threatened to hike with Reggie. So I would go, but listen, I'm an up the street person. I'm not an up the hill person. Okay. But I will go, right? Yeah. But Garland, before we talk about that, can you talk a little bit about your first date, tea, and a hike? I could do that. I need snacks too, though. But can you talk about your transition, like your journey? Because we see you now canoeing and walking and running up the ramp at Nichols Park. Talk about how you got there.
Okay. A while ago, I found out I had high blood pressure. Now, high blood pressure doesn't tell you got it. I was getting headaches a lot. And this is really, they call it the silent killer for a reason. I was getting headaches really bad. I was going through a custody battle. This was years ago. And the stress of it had my head about to explode, to the point where any type of light, I started work at 6:30 in the morning. By the time I got to work, I would have taken like 4 Excedrin. Wow. And I had a Class A license at the time. So they did the physical. Every now and then they brought somebody in to give us a physical. Turn out I was on borderline stroke. Wow. I was ready they sent me home. They was like, you need to go to the hospital now.
Wow.
So fast forward to, I started doing what I had to do, and, there is no, people say they don't have money for trainers and stuff. Get you a trainer, because you either gonna have money for a trainer or you're gonna have money for something. A trainer is, if you can't do it yourself, a trainer will hold you accountable. Just, you need somebody to do it for you, let them do it. It was the best money I ever spent, getting a trainer, getting my health. And then I was able to, like with my hiking, I was like, okay, if I'm in this type of shape, then it need to translate to something else. I need to be able to, like, can I hike? So I joined a couple hiking groups. Oh, that was so much fun. And then one of the ladies in my hiking group, she did outrigger canoeing, and she invited me there. And after that, I was in love. Like that right there, that is like the ultimate. I mean, you literally die and come back to life over and over again. and I mean, and there are so many people, it humbles you. I get in a boat with a bunch of women and they kick my ass. I mean, butt. Pineapple. But this is my journey. I go from, teetering on disaster to working out, getting my body right to, okay, what can I do with this body I got? So, and how can I maintain it? So all my activities are just staying active. I'm not going from the gym and just trying to lay on the couch. I'm gonna hit that gym through the week, and then on the weekend, I'm gonna see, can I climb that hill that I climbed a couple of weeks ago a little better? It's a lot to it. It's changing your whole lifestyle. Like what you consider fun, just be active. It ain't gotta be to the extreme. Just be active.
Yeah. So Garland, Dion often talks about making a decision. Mm-hmm. Everything starts with making a decision. To prepare for this conversation, I spoke to a number of different guys just to kind of get a consensus about what has been a barrier to them managing their health or taking better proactive care of their health. And one of the things that kept coming up is that men don't go to and this is from Black men. We don't go to the doctor because we're afraid. So I said, afraid of what? Afraid of the unknown, afraid of finding out something that I don't want to know, going in, feeling okay, coming out, feeling worse, right? So Can we talk about the fear factor? Because shout out to all of the men that are typing in the stuff that they're doing. Kofi said he's on his way to the gym right now. Yeah. We know Reggie is the hike master. So shout out to all of you guys that are doing it. But can you talk to the men that don't know where to start and they flat out afraid? We ain't gonna talk about getting that prostate check because you can send them into.
I've gotten my prostate checked a few times, and I'm about to get a colonoscopy this year. And whenever I do it, I remember when I first got my prostate checked, I put it on Facebook because I was like, this is something that, people need to know that we need to do. Some secrets shouldn't be kept. And it wasn't a fun experience, but if I had to do that to save my life, which is what you're doing, they're going to do it. They're going to do it either when you got it or to make sure you don't get it. They coming.
So, were you afraid?
Yeah.
Did you have any fear?
I was just worried about the comfort level, but I didn't have any fear as far as
not just the prostate exam, but just all
just
of
the results,
changing your lifestyle, even the way you eat. Did you face any fear?
My biggest fear was leaving my girls too early. So nothing scares me more than that. So, like I said, when you love somebody,
wisdom.
Yeah, when you love somebody more than you love yourself, then you don't want to leave them. You don't want to be a burden. Mm-hmm. So you do everything you can to be here with your family, and but the fear of going to get it done, I was kind of scared. I'm scared with the colonoscopy coming up because the amount of people I know with all my Navy buddies and everything, my feed, I'm like looking at a lot of people getting sick, like a lot of people. And I have those conversations with my friends like, hey man, you all right? You getting checked? Or, it's scary. But I mean, we support each other through all kind of other things. We got to talk about those things,
Absolutely. I think the silence kills us.
Silence.
We don't. Right. And not to be funny, but so Tony posted, and I just want to share a couple of these comments. His comment was great. I have congestive heart failure, an irregular heartbeat, COPD, high blood pressure, chronic kidney disease. I've changed my outlook on life and how I live. I eat to live now, and I'm eating far less and starting to exercise. I had to change my perspective. Losing my brother, which was a dear friend of mine. We grew up together. We grew up holding hands, me, him, and Mimi, going over to Miss Medler's house and, just around the corner playing at the Tanbark Park together. everybody loves Ty. And it says, I have to live my best life now for my wife. And Garland, you said something a moment ago that I think is paramount. When you stop just living for yourself, our selfishness, we could blame it on the system and make every excuse we want to about the systematic processes. Honey, you got to get your thought process above that. That's menial thinking and giving yourself an excuse to allow yourself to be sick. Tony, I'm super proud of you.
Yes.
And Ravonda, shout out for being one of the women that would have the heart and the courage to walk a man out of his broken place into his wealthy place.
What's up, Tony?
That's so what's up. That's sexy as all get up. And then we also had let me see. Tony also said this, and I think this is key for those that are watching. It's the stigma of the prostate exam that makes you think twice, but it's better to know and to get treatment and to find out prior to it being too late. This conversation, and I think when for Sabrina and I, when Carl passed, we expected a regular hospital visit to turn into him coming home with us. We were prepared to take a high tea with Bree at the hospital with him in the hospital, and my brother never came home. Right. And that started an awareness, a very different awareness, I think, of number one, how important you guys are to us. Men, like, we can't live without you. We need you. We need, especially for the ones of you that have the courage to step past the excuses that society and culture will make for living an unhealthy life. Listen, we need your influence, and the lack of your influence in historic times in the system and in the process have caused a whole bunch of trajectory that we still have to write. And so I want to say this openly. You guys, and I'm not sure what happened to Ty. Reggie, I sent you a link. We'd love for you to jump on. Look, did you see Sabrina's face? Did you see her fingers? They did this.
Click the link, Reggie. Click the link.
Oh, Reg.
Come on, Reg. Just use your phone. He probably somewhere in a tree.
In a mountain. You know, Reg.
Reg is so gangster.
That's my hero.
My brother had me in the nosebleed section of the hiking department in Point Richmond, places I didn't even know existed. Yeah. And then the bugs was trying to get me, and he has no pity. You do not want to go on a hike with Reggie unprepared. You absolutely need some repellent because he is going to drag you. Nevertheless, I just want to say how much, for real, I have watched you overcome so much stuff through your transition in your relationship, through doing the best thing for yourself with regard to your sobriety and your health. You inspire me. We love you so much, G, like for real. Listen, can anything good come from Richmond? Absolutely. Absolutely.
You represent us well.
You represent us well, dude. Like it, and I love you to smithereens.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's a lot. You know, we've talked about men leaving their families, but the reality is, for those of you that are the kings in our community, you're more than just a husband. You're more than just a father. You are a brother. You are an uncle. You are like a staple. And we need you. Like, your health is directly tied to my future.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do life together, and I don't want to do life without another one of you, right? So I want to be real about it. Because everybody ain't gonna just go on a hike.
Yeah, I made it.
I don't know if Reggie will tell it, but I was supposed to go. We meeting at Point Richmond. Sabrina showed up in some blue suede boots. Because that's what she do. So let me just say, standing at the bottom of a mountain, everybody ain't going on a hike.
At work.
Hi. Hey, I'm so sorry. I was trying to get a break at 7 and could not.
It's okay.
But I'm at this point. I just couldn't. But I'm here now. Hey, everybody.
Hi. Thank you for joining us. So I was just about to ask Garland, can you give us some intermediate steps? Like, what if somebody is not at the point where I can just exercise full out yet? I don't have a gym membership. Can we talk about even just changing the way we eat? Dion mentioned your sobriety. Like, I've watched you post pictures of stuff that I'm like, okay.
Well,
and I know it has 0 calories in it. So can you talk about just
every year
diet?
A diet is like 80% of it. So, but every year, I don't even lie to myself and set myself up for failure. Every year, right after the Super Bowl, because I know it's going down. My birthday in January, the Super Bowl right after. Right after the Super Bowl, I just stop drinking. I do like 90 days, no alcohol. And then I ramp up my workouts. I ramp up everything I do. I don't want to be counterproductive. So right after that, sometimes I might switch to keto for a month, just depending on how I feel, just to try to get back. I've even done Jenny Craig. Jenny Craig works. Jenny Craig will knock in a month. I've done it for a month. You can drop 10 to 15 pounds in a month if you're working out, depending on how you're working out. You're going to drop some weight. Just if you need somebody to monitor how you eat. But like I said, for that 90 days, I'm really hitting it, because in the summer, you want to be right. And I'm going to keep working out in the summer. But this particular past year was really hard to get off because of COVID. COVID threw everybody out of whack. And I was not even feeling right. And as I said, within the last month and a half, I dropped about 15 pounds.
Nice.
Wow.
Feeling good. I'm getting ready for my canoe race coming up. But just to motivate me to get to do that, I'm trying to give you guys because I know Sabrina, you kind of wondering, like, how do you get from the couch to just want to do that? And it's almost, make it simple. Right now, my gym stuff is in the back of my car. Everything I need is in the back of my car. I have workout stuff in my garage, but I go to 24-hour fitness. But when I get off with you guys, I'm jumping in my car and I'm going to drive to the gym. Okay. I'm going to go work out. Don't even try to stand there a long time. 1 hour. Cool. Yeah. Do 30 minutes of cardio and then get you some push-ups, abs, just something to get your strength up. And then go sit in the sauna. Keep it simple. Don't go in there and try to kill yourself where you once you get in there and you get in routine and get through the soreness, then you can start, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then if you want, get you a trainer. But it's just remove all obstacles of keeping you from going. Make it simple. Make it where I literally roll out my bed, brush my teeth and everything, and just throw my sweats on, go jump in the car, and I'm working out. I'm waking up on a treadmill,
So Kofi wrote, start small and drink water each day.
I drink about 2 gallons of water a day.
Right.
But I can do that because I work where I work.
Yeah. So we're supposed to drink half our body weight in water, right? Mm-hmm. Now you got to have you a good porta potty urinal next to you.
Yeah.
Right. Reggie says start with just a walk around the block. As you guys are taking note of that, I saw Trey said she wrote down Jenny Craig. Dion, I would love for us just to pause for just a moment.
Absolutely.
For you to introduce
Tyron.
our next guest, and he can tell us a little bit about his story, about his diet. I heard you lost an amazing amount of weight, so I'm excited to learn your story.
So for those of you who don't know this amazing, I call him the gentle giant. He is one of the most stoic cats, a man of very few words, but when he speaks into lives. And by the grace of God, I met him probably about, almost 20 years ago, huh, Ty? It's been a really, really long time. But we shared salon space, one next to another. He was a barber, I was a stylist. And I watched him go from literally this broken dude, if I just keep it 100, all the lives that I watched him mentor people from his broken place. I watched him go grab folks that were about to lose it and make stellar barbers out of them from his broken place. And then I watched when the light went on in his head about his life and his responsibility when that little girl started getting a little waistline and a little booty. Honey, something happened. You know, when you had them kids, when that little girl started growing up, she'd walk in the door, his face, look, he'd get a little nervous, like, Lord Jesus, wait a minute, hold up. But I watched Ty take responsibility for his life, but not just his life. He recognized how many people were watching him. And he is someone that has always ignited me when it comes to him and Gouda. I love me some Kareem. Him and Gouda always keep me on fire when it comes to working out. And so we were at 24-hour together, and I had, COVID had came and hit me, and then here he come talking crazy, and I swear he was talking directly to me. So I start inboxing him. You ain't gonna keep talking to me like that. You don't know me like that. And he was like, oh, just come on, D. You know what to do. And so I want to tell you, I love you. Always have, always will. I know you do. I know you do. But I thank you for your consistency. Your consistency keeps me motivated. Him and Eric, and I mean, there's so many. I love you guys. I love me some Samantha Wise and some Devona McClendon, but I love me some my dudes, especially we've been through lots and lots together. So to see you on the other side of healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and without perfection and without looking for perfection. But you dope, dude. I appreciate your life. So that's Ty, y'all.
Hi, Ty. Welcome to High Tea. Welcome. So, Ty, you joined us as we were giving tips to men who need to start at the intermediate state, the very bottom. So, Dion mentioned, like I said, that you've had this amazing transformational journey. Garland encouraged us to understand that 80% of it is diet. So my question to you is, did you change your diet, and how did you change your diet?
Well, just to give you kind of short and long, I always kind of been an athlete, basketball player, college basketball.
Adjust your phone, Ty. Move your hand off your mic.
Can you hear me now?
A little, yeah, that's better. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Mm-hmm.
That's better.
That's better.
So, played junior college basketball. And, what happened was I actually had a motorcycle accident on my bike, and got a back injury. So I was going through physical therapy and stuff like that. And when I was going to see the physical therapist, he basically told me, he said, look, I can come in here and I can massage you, put this ultrasound on you, this TIMS in it, but the way for you to get better is to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Learn how to manage it. Your excessive weight is just bearing down on all your weight-bearing joints. And you only feel better while you're here with me. But after you leave, the pain is going to persist. And he gave me this illustration. He said, I want you to imagine if you were 100 pounds and you jumped off into the street, and he said, when you land, it's not going to be 200, it's going to be double. And he said, so that's what's happening as you walk.
Wow.
You're fighting gravity each day. And you got all this excessive weight on all your weight-bearing joints, your back, your knees, and stuff like that. And so typically, that's why people who are overweight have all of these existing joint problems. It just really resonated with me. So what happened was, at the time I was married, I was on South Beach, 350 pounds. My quality of life, out there seeing all these beautiful people, and we had got this house that was in this place that was far away from the beach, and we had to walk every day, and I was just miserable. We was out there for 7 days, and I just made my mind up at that time. I said, when I get back to California, I'm going to do this. I was 350 pounds. That day we got back, it was a Sunday. and basically cleared out everything white. Hold on, 2 seconds. Lost you.
So for those of you that may be having challenges hearing him while he's adjusting, he said he was 350
I'm going to show you guys
pounds.
a picture. I found one. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we can hear
So
you
I
now.
was,
Here
I
it is.
was 300. I don't know if you got that transformation picture you can get off my.
I grabbed it. There it is
Wow.
right here.
Wow.
Man, you leaned out for real.
Leaned out
Wow.
for real. You hear me?
Yeah.
Like mad leaned out.
So I was 350 pounds, and so the first thing that I did was I kind of went on a bunch of these Instagram transformation pages, and so I went on there to I started reading people's testimony and stuff like that. So I started going on those pages, and then I actually started making some of those pages. So my pictures started, after I, got transformed my body, I was on a bunch of Instagram transformation pages giving my testimony. But I went on these pages, and it just seemed like I was always seeing a common number for how long it took for people to transform their bodies. And it was always 3 years, 3 years, 3 years. So I told myself, okay, it's going to take me about 3 years. So I started off by just saying, you know what, no carbohydrates. It was easy for me to say no flour, no sugar. I didn't do any milk, any dairy, any potatoes, stuff like that. Then I put a calendar on my wall. And I started off just going in the gym and doing the things that I could do. 30 minutes cardio. I started off doing 30 minutes cardio, doing 2 weights, 2 muscles a day. So it would be back and try. It would be back, thigh, chest, try, shoulders, legs. But I was working out, 5 days a week. And so I would write my weight down every single day. And I mean, literally, I was losing 2 pounds a day. Every single day. 2 pounds. I mean, it was 348 my first day. 346. And it was just going down. So then what would happen is, I'm on the motorcycle set. So the weekend would come, Friday, I drink, fried pasta, French fries, and then I would weigh in that Sunday or Saturday after having what I call a bad day out. I would register 4 pounds weight and stuff like that. So what that did for me was like, okay, so I'm seeing I can get the weight off, but I have to get rid of any bad habits. So eventually I started cut out all the bad habits. And, next thing you know, probably in about a year and some change, I had lost over 100.
Wow.
And I started to just once some of the weight started to come off, I started to get stronger. The pain was going away. I started hit classes and CrossFit, and I just really submerged myself into health and fitness. And I'm just very disciplined. I eat, I work out 7 days a week. I even have what I call active rest days. With active rest basically means that I'm active that day, but I'm not necessarily lifting weights. I'm not, because when you lift weights, you're tearing down muscle fiber and you build muscle by those muscles repairing themselves. So if I'm not lifting weights, I'm doing active rest. So that could be hiking, that could be biking. I'm doing something every day. I'm making a health and fitness deposit every single day, not unless something does not, like the time doesn't permit, work or whatever the case may be. But every single day, I make a deposit into my health and fitness. But I train people as well.
Nice.
Since I used to be there and I had very limited mobility. I mean, I literally will start someone off, like you said, just walk. Let's just walk this treadmill. I typically will, just so I can see just check out someone's mobility, I would typically put them on an elliptical first. Let me see how you do on this elliptical. It's been tough for some people sometimes, people that's over 300 pounds. So then I'll just have them walk. I used to couldn't do any dip, any pull up, any push up, any of that kind of stuff. I'll just start people off. Do it on your knees. Sometimes with pull ups and stuff, put them on bands. It's just.
So it's doable.
It's doable. I mean, a lot of people just it's like a catch-22. I mean, I tell people all the time, they come in the gym and they get discouraged because because they experience pain. And I mean, it's the old saying, no pain, no gain. You know what I mean? You have to get that. That'll all go away. I tell people all the time, don't get in the vicious cycle of starting, quitting. People get in that vicious cycle because going there, they don't really give themselves a realistic amount of time. 2 weeks just isn't going to get it. You know what I mean?
No. I need to lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks, and that just needs to be how it happens.
It's not a quick fix. It's not going to happen like that.
So
people really don't give themselves a really good chance. I tell people all the time, you know what all that bad food is about. You know what all this pain is about. Just give health and fitness a real shot. Give yourself about 2 months, and I guarantee you'll see some results. And your results will be your motivation to keep going. People do not give themselves ample enough time to get to that spot where they're like, oh my God, I lost 10, 15 pounds and I feel so much more better. That'll be your motivation to keep it.
All right. Ty, thank you so much. There are people that are asking questions of you, and I want to make sure we get a chance to get those questions in. But while you were talking, I often feel, and this is to you too, Garland, I feel like men have an unfair advantage when it comes to weight loss. Right, listen, y'all don't have hormones.
We don't have babies.
Y'all don't have babies. Y'all don't have hormones. And so, Ty, the everything you cut out, carbohydrates, flour, sugar, potato, sir. What are you eating? I could do that for about 3 days, and then somebody's going to be in the line of fire. They're going to get murdered, right? So that's my assumption. My question is, do men have cravings? And if so, how did you overcome that? Because even just everything you cut out sounded like a monumental feat.
But he eats good. I love to look at his pictures, especially when he on the set. That joker gonna have a gang of shrimp, a gang of veggies.
So Dion, I don't know if you can, but while Garland is talking about cravings, I don't know. Can you pull up some pictures of what
I drink
Ty
a lot of
would
water. When you drink a lot of water, you're not hungry. A lot of times you think you're hungry and you're thirsty. So I'll eat throughout the day, but from 7 to 7, I'm fasting. But since I work like 1:30 in the afternoon till 11:30 at night, I'll drink like 2 gallons of water a day, and I'll shut it down around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, so I can actually go to sleep and not go to the bathroom. But a lot of water, because you don't have cravings when you're full.
Okay.
So that's what I did. That's what I do. It's water that fills me up. What you do, Ty?
I just know how to make healthy food taste good. And I mean, honestly, I don't hardly drink any water at all. I don't like water. I typically only drink water when I work out. But I mean, just like today, I mean, just an example of what I ate today. I mean, I started work today at around 7. I had a whole wheat sandwich, turkey sandwich with guacamole and mustard.
Mm-hmm.
I had a small amount of steak and green beans, and I actually got my dinner in my hand right now. Green beans and shrimp. And the only snack that I had was some tangerines. That was it for the day. I mean, it's no carbs at all. And I mean, these green beans that I'm eating taste really good. I mean, I saute everything in either olive oil or grapeseed oil.
Oh, yeah,
I use smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. I only use one salt. So it could be a seasoning salt or onion salt. I only use one salt, but everything else is going to be a powder. Garlic powder, onion powder. I use onions. I use peppers and stuff like that.
Let me ask a quick question, Ty, because I grabbed all of this stuff off your page. He always posts really, really good food. So now, is this cauliflower rice or is it brown rice or this was chicken, broccoli, shrimp, and rice, it looks like.
Yeah, it's probably brown rice.
Brown rice.
Brown rice. So Reggie says that he eats sweet fruits. for his cravings. He eats sweet fruits. Garland, you're snacking on something right now. You just popped
Yeah.
something. What was that?
I got Brussels sprouts and broccoli. So
Brussels sprouts.
sauteed. So sauteed Brussels sprouts and broccoli, and I had chicken breast. That's what I had the same thing for lunch as I had for dinner. One chicken breast.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
that
basically.
looks amazing.
I made a big pan of that.
Okay.
So I'll eat that because I don't have the patience to cook. So I'll make a big pan of that and just eat that at work for lunch and dinner. I'll have as many vegetables as I want with one chicken
Yeah,
breast.
that's how I feel.
Right.
So Kofi says, I would advise getting a workout partner because they hold you accountable. And Ty, that was one of the questions that somebody posted in the chat. They wanted to know, where do you train people? And I'm going to go ahead and ask, are you taking on new clients?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't train people in that way. Like, I'll have like I'm a barber. So I've had teams who just struggling to get over the hump. So I will kind of. I'm a huge advocate of being self-motivated and
Okay.
getting the help that you need. Kind of keep the car. I'll get you going, but you gotta keep going. Paid trainers are great, but you have to be careful with them sometimes because that's how they make money. So sometimes, and I know a lot of paid trainers, and sometimes they're taking their money. You know what I mean? They don't really have that. I don't know. Like I said, I can't really. All trainers. I don't know. Like
Everybody ain't the same. And
everybody
you
ain't
got to
the
do what
same.
works
But
best
like
for
I
you.
said, I'm a huge advocate of you got to get to the point where you're self motivated. You have a workout partner. They fall off. You fall off.
You fall off. Exactly. You
Fall off with me. When I first started, I was getting in the gym with people. I had limited time. I was on time. They either didn't show or they came late and they just threw my thing off. I'm literally in the gym every morning with, like you said, with Rita, with Kareem, with my partner Tommy. We all best friends and we don't mess with each other. They over there doing what they do. I'm doing what I do. We do get it in together every now and again. We just look at it as a bonus. But I do not plan to work out with anyone. I'm self-motivated. I go in there, I get it in. And those are the people who seem to be consistent. Those who can find some way to be self-motivated. And just get up every day and do it. Like I said, the way that you get there, get those results. I used to be 350 pounds. I weighed in yesterday at 235. When I tell you, prior to at 350, everything hurt. Neck, back, knees, bottom of my feet. I mean, everything hurt me. The quality of life is horrible. And when you feel better, when you have more energy, that is what's going to keep you going. People do not give themselves a fair shot to that thing. You have to feel that in order to keep it going.
Yeah.
So thank you. There's so many aspects to this conversation that we have not been able to touch on. Another aspect that I wanted us to talk about, and I'm hoping that you gentlemen will be willing to come back and talk about, when we talk about the health of Black men, the role that mental health plays on it, depression, anxiety, stress, anger, because that all, we wear that in our bodies, right?
Oh, yes.
So we're about out of time tonight, so we have to wrap. But if you all would be willing, and if there's an audience for you all, let us know if that's something that you would want to hear about, because that's another contributing factor to Black men dying prematurely, hypertension. So I'd love to have that conversation. And then I want to talk about, maybe in the third installment, if we can, Black men over 45 and 50 entering relationships with health issues.
Yes.
You know?
And yeah, not just the
I'd
physical.
love that. To have that conversation.
Listen.
Have you ever visited his Facebook page? If you
No.
have not, follow him. Because
Ty, can we be friends? Because I don't think we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely.
But I can cycle some people your way because I done dated a few people. They're chicken wing away from erectile
Ty, that's some
dysfunction.
good stuff, though. That's some good stuff. I enjoyed listening to him.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. So will you guys come back and have this conversation?
Please,
Definitely.
please.
Okay. Can y'all one of y'all convince Reggie to join the conversation as well?
We
You gotta
get
get Reggie out the mountain.
We gotta get my brother out the tree because he's somewhere in somebody's tree. I swear. Look, I can't stand him. He is so annoying. I'm telling you, he's in a tree this minute.
So then we have a plan. I'm going to turn it over to Dion for our last words and last reflections and last comments, but I appreciate you all for your contribution to this conversation.
It's been amazing. I know that we barely scratched the surface of what we could talk about, how we could talk about it, and what it looks like for a woman to love a man enough to walk with him through the process of getting well. Honestly, some of us, and I want to say this because I've watched it happen. Some of us have lost relationships due to not living a healthy life. Some of us have lost relationships not willing to do the work so that everybody's healthy, so that it's not just one person or the other, but that we are collectively spending time loving one another enough to heal in the area of how we look at food, in the area of how we look at living and what that means, not just for me, but for us, right? And so I really want to talk about that as a Black woman. How can we support you with making those healthy lifestyle choices? How can we support you in serving you in such a way that we are not just feeding what we think we need, but we are feeding your emotional health. We are feeding your mental health. We are encouraging you to continue your health and fitness journey, and we have the courage to do it with you. Listen, I can't wait to get a good saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, tongue talking, praying, prophesying, I'm just kidding.
With a strong back, Jesus.
With a strong back. Do you understand? And I'm going to the gym with him. Because I know how we show up when we're thirsty. I know what thirsty girls at the gym look like. So mine will have some company. I don't know about nobody else, but mine, I'm going with mine. And I'm not, however long we got to be at the gym, I'm going to be right through that thing. Nevertheless, say it again, Ty.
I know that's right.
I mean that thing. I watches them, vultures. Anyway, I'm excited about what this is going to produce. I'm excited about even just really creating a safe place to talk about the fact that, listen, you can do it. I know some folks that have had surgery to lose weight. Listen, kudos. I ain't mad.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. I ain't mad at you. We just need you. We want you to live.
Yes.
We want you to live, and we want you to live long enough for some of the things that have systematically been put in place for us not to love you well, to be restored. Listen, there are some of us, it matters. We do care. We are willing to do the work. We are willing to walk with you through the process. And so, listen, for those of you that are watching, I'm hopeful that this conversation encouraged you. If you have a son, listen, mommy, single moms, I know you work a lot of hours. Don't be feeding your children death trap food, please, right? Be cognizant and aware. If we start train a child up in the way in which he should go, when he grows old, he will not depart from it. That's the word of God. Take a little minute, cook a little something for that boy, that young lady. For real, it matters. I promise. I wish somebody had just said that to me like that. I don't want my son to grow up and be fighting hypertension, diverticulosis, diabetes, congestive heart failure, insomnia, PTSD, anxiety, depression, and all of that. And food contributes to it, and not living a healthy life makes it even worse. Sabrina, you close us out.
So, again, thank you all for being here, Ty. It sounds like you can expect some Facebook friend requests.
They on your line.
They on your line.
Hey, Ty, they on your head.
Which will be from me. So if you only have room for one, listen. I call dibs. But As contributors to this conversation, my hope and my prayer is that you all spoke into some men who listened to this conversation, and that you gave them hope that not only can they do it, but there are men that are willing to champion them and push. That was one of the things that I heard. I heard Ty say, I'm not a trainer, but I'll motivate you, right? Because it's about the self-motivation. I think, Garland, one of the most important things you said tonight was that you loved your children more than you loved yourself. And so you decided to live. And that's the bottom line. We want you to live. I want you to live so that I can see your dreams come true. Because when your dreams come true, our children as a community are just better. Yeah. So I end this with saying, Black men, we need you. We love you and we want to see you thrive. So until next time, on behalf of myself, Bree, not Brianna, and the radical one, and the kings that have occupied this space, Garland and Ty, thank you. We'll see you guys again next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you.